The following presentation meets all requirements for the Fair Use Act of 1972. Some of the material made within this presentation may be copyrighted and may not be used for any other purpose without the copyright holder's permission. The videos on this channel reflect ideal usage of the Fair Use Act, as they are critical commentary relevant to the political discourse necessary for our democracy. Thank you for joining me, and welcome to the Lost Begotten channel.
I know I gotta keep you by my side today I've died. 'Cause baby, ecstasy is in my hand. Oh, when I'm holding yours in mine and walking in the sand. Oh, baby, you know it's fine. Now you done and piss me off. You ain't done something you shouldn't have done. Baby, I'm mad. I'm going on. Oh, I'm going on. I can't take it no more.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you are, and welcome back to Fake TV's The Lost Begotten channel. I am your host, of course, as always, Fake TV's The Lost Begotten, Sean Morris, Nothan, Merlin, Poseidon, whatever you want to call me, I don't care. What are you talking about? Go away. Oh look, wait, hold up, no, hold on. Troll me some more. Go ahead. What the fuck are you talking about now, please? What, am I supposed to believe that you're some kind of new fucking person who's just impatient and just can't wait to see the broadcast? Everybody look at the new, real American person who's viewing the video. Nothing to say? Cat got your dick? Maybe if you weren't such a pussy. Anyway. So let's ban another one of these fucking useless fucking troll accounts. For fuck's sake. No, you see, what you don't know about YouTube is that I could get in trouble for reporting something. Did you know that? Did you know that you could get your fucking YouTube channel removed because you reported a bully that wasn't technically bullying at the time, or you couldn't prove it in the text that he was bullying? Huh? Did you know that? If anybody thinks I don't have a fucking clear-cut legal case against YouTube that's going to reward me shit tons of money, they don't know a fucking thing about the law, okay? Oh, welcome back, Ted. Congratulations, you're actually showing up as a person. Look at that, there's a number 1. Although, I'm pretty sure Ted is just a troll that plays cool from time to time. But we'll let him play all he wants. Flat Earth clues in Final Fantasy games? Okay, so why does your name sound familiar? Had you commented on the channel about a year ago? Yeah, I don't forget things, unfortunately for me. But I believe it was an innocuous comment. It's just, I'm like traumatized over here from all the fucking trolls, man. Like seriously, traumatized. Fucking PTSD. Like, I'm pretty sure that there's going to be not only just a class action case against YouTube, but there's very likely going to be a punitive case against all these companies: Facebook, Twitter, Google, and YouTube.
As I'm scrolling through Twitter.
I've had friends that have basically died because their social media went dead. Couldn't get in contact with their friends when they needed them. Isn't that lovely? And, speaking of people dying, what would you do if you were at war with the country and they didn't know it? Did you ever consider that? Did you ever consider, okay, here's what seems to be the facts. Let me stop being afraid of this and try to hypothesize what are the actual things to look for that could be going on behind the scenes, that our government would be so scared that they would try to keep us from panicking. By keeping it, a secret. like Hillary felt like she had to. For 11 hours straight of Republican grilling. She didn't once mention the fact, the known fact, Russia was trying to build basically a terrorism supply depot in Benghazi. So what would you do if you were at war with a country that denied to itself, to its people, and to itself, and its leaders bickered and debated on whether or not they were at war, but you knew you were at war with them? What would you do? Would you do anything that overtly declared war? Would you wake the population up on purpose? Why? Why would you do such a thing? You would do exactly what Russia has done. And you might even do some things that we don't know if Russia did them. If I was Russia, I would have done them. If I were Russia, there wouldn't be a single opportunity I wouldn't take to make those Rushablicans and those socialist commies dig in as far deep as I can, all the way on the right and all the way on the left. And I'd do everything I can to make policy destroy lives through those parties. And I would do everything I can to cause a wildfire or blow up a chemical plant here and there. One's act of sabotage after another. Sabotage, sabotage, sabotage. What? You don't think the Russians are into sabotage? My Serbian wife just snickered. They sabotaged her whole fucking country, didn't they?
Yeah. Raped it and then left. Somewhat.
Raped it, left, then pissed off NATO, blamed it on them.
I'm pretty sure there's still buildings in Belgrade that haven't been put back together.
Oh no, they keep them there just so the Russian propagandists can fucking remind them, because those are Russian oligarch-owned buildings. I've seen the propaganda. I've seen the recent propaganda, and they were fucking sitting there blaming Hillary Clinton for it. In Belgrade, your people, fucking Russian flags, protesting the Clinton family. Yeah. And holding up posters of Monica Lewinsky like she's a hero. In Belgrade, holding up posters of Monica Lewinsky. Who, buddy? Did you know that Linda Tripp hated her father because her father was cheating on her mother and only went to the Pentagon to sabotage our government? Yeah. You might have missed that. Wasn't really popular on the whole Ken Starr talking points. So, you see where it says Nevada County, that long one right there? Well, this is a registration map. The only difference between this map and the way it went as far as the election goes is Nevada County went for Hillary. So this little upper corner right here, those are the Democrat counties. And that little spot in the middle, the pink one right here was 50-50. The big, Butte County and Nevada County went for Hillary. Now, that's not even a 20% likelihood, but it does reach a 20% likelihood based on this fact. Generally speaking, wildfires are more likely to occur in Republican counties because Republicans own more rural land. Yet for some reason, the wildfires in California skew heavily towards Democratic counties, consistently. Now again, if I were at war with the country, and they didn't know it, and I was, collusive with one of the parties, something like this might be exactly what I'd expect. Oh, thanks for your service, brother. See any action?
Thank you very much for your service.
Welcome home, man. Something you want to know about Afghanistan that you can only find out here. Been tracking it for quite some time, actually. But this is my favorite image. I've got probably 30 different slides showing Russian Army Uzbekistan troops assisting the Taliban. And that's just when I caught them. That's just when I caught them. They've been supporting the Taliban for a very long time. What you might not know is that the Taliban is not the Mujahideen. The political party that the CIA supported. Check this out, man. You're told that it's the CIA's fault that the Taliban's there, right? Well, the political party that the CIA supported was not the Taliban. The Taliban overthrew them in a military coup 3 months after we pulled out. I repeat, the Taliban threw over the government that the United States CIA propped up 3 months after the CIA got the fuck out of there. You know who supported the Taliban in that coup and ever since? That would be Russia. And, well, considering that Mr. Larry Feinstein is Donald Trump's best friend, and Russia's involvement in Afghanistan, and Russia's involvement with the Trump campaign, and Russia's seeming promotion of anti-Islamic propaganda while promoting Islamic extremism. It all kinda, just a little bit, leads to one big worry. Why did he make so many statements on 9/11 to so many different reporters that nobody had ever heard of? Why did that reporter that he was talking to in front of his office speak so many different languages, it seemed? He spoke German and Russian at the very least. I think he spoke French too. Syria, Iraq, what's going on there, that came from Chechnya. Look at the date. That's when they graduated from being the varsity team. From Russia with love. After this, after the fall of Mosul, Putin built this. It's the biggest mosque in the world. It is in Moscow. Look at those tenement houses around it. And look at the magnitude of it. Look at the gloriousness of it. What you're looking at is a Hun Sultan. A shadow man. For the Horde. And while that doesn't quite bring you up to speed, it's some of the most important things I think somebody looking for anything to do with Flat Earth or Final Fantasy needs to know. Because what you're witnessing is actually the war between heaven and hell unfolding around you. You're not in Kansas anymore. The world you used to know has passed away.
Well, you know what? The mail still needs to run to our military, so thank you for your service anyway. Doesn't matter. You still serve our country.
And that's why I'm making sure he knows everything I think somebody would need to know. Somebody tells me they serve, I'm like, okay, sit rep time.
Yeah, it'd be nice if one particular person who served for country. What? Sorry.
Yeah, basically this is a bigger picture than you will find, and what I will tell you is going to conflict with a lot of stuff that you've heard. That's because most of the people trying to get your attention and distract you and tell you, this is the truth, this is the truth, oh look here, look here, look here. They're all fucking liars. And they're all paid by Russia. I mean, it's not a coincidence that they are all lying and they all are also paid by Russia. I'm talking about here on YouTube. I'm talking about the internet in general. I'm talking about what is yielded by a Google search. Okay. Let's just look at the lines on the map, because you know what? Whatever the politicians say, the lines on the map don't lie. The Horde basically became the Soviet Union. You think, no, the Horde was long, long time ago. Okay. The Golden Horde, according to the history that they've given us, only ended at the time where people were fleeing here. People did not begin fleeing to the United States in 1492. They began fleeing the United States in 900 AD, when Europe was being conquered by the Horde. Look at the date, 1502. Don't you think something like that would be a little bit important to a nation of refugees that fled from, you know, around those parts? We're not allowed to communicate that part of history. People who uncover these parts of history are silenced or worse. We are a nation surrounded and enslaved by our arrogance. And if I could just find this one other image right quick. not the image I want, but as far as Syria goes, the people there knew what Russia was doing. But there's this one other map. You can find it on any political Islam documentary, and it shows how Europe was basically invaded before and during the time of the so-called Mongolian horde. I'm on a secondary laptop right now because I have a problem securing machines for obvious reasons. So I like to diversify my data, you know? And I'm not sure I have every last little JPEG transferred, but this one map, man, this would be a shame if I didn't have this map. You've probably seen it before. It shows all the battles leading to basically the conquest of Europe. And if you look at that map in relation to, you know, today, here's a good one. This isn't the one I was looking for, but this is the one I always wind up having a show. So the green shows how much was conquered by the horde, and the red shows how much was conquered since the horde faded into shadow. And what is it that the devil's greatest trick was? Convincing the world that he didn't exist? It's funny how the supposed colonial times happened right after this. Could it be that there were actually indigenous rebellions and the Europeans helped them? Could it be that there were at least political parties within those countries that wanted the help of the Europeans in escaping domination from the horde? Everything you've been told, even the so-called alternate history, is a lie, meant to divide you, to make you more easily conquerable. The Golden Dawn is the Golden Horde. It seems they have a thing for golden showers as well. My wife looks pretty today. I can keep you here.
I wish.
So, yes.
Discovery due tomorrow. So.
Anyways, welcome to the channel, Ted. I am your useless cripple host, Sean Morris.
Stop that. Fucking nonsense.
It's in the bedroom. What it all boils down to is the land of Nod and the sons of Cain who re-inhabited it. From the time of the Ark onward. And, 2,000 years ago, I would have simply said those who claim they are Jews and are not. But nowadays, to give moderate reference to it, I must speak in the terms of known conspiracy theories. And the one that should ring a bell is Khazaria. See, it's oh look, there's the map. This map right here, Conquest of Europe, the anti-Crusades, if you will. But this basically is Khazaria. Okay. Now divided up into the lands of Georgia and Kazakhstan. And yes, not all of Kazakhstan is represented there, but it's all still Horde territory. Where's my little Khazaria JPEG? There we go. This is from the little YouTube documentary on Khazaria. The thing about that, Satanists, trolls, Russian intelligence, all coincidentally use the same tactic of twisting truth so that they can control the release of it. So they twisted this truth yeah, 2,000 years is like yesterday to me, that's for sure. But what you can see is that this conspiracy has been presented to claim that all Jews are false Jews, especially if their last name is Hillary Clinton. Wait, what? That's not a last name. So yes, you might have heard of Eric the Red, Leif Erikson. They're called Vikings. They weren't Vikings. They were scouts that would lead one of the biggest migrations ever to be covered up by history.
I have an interruption question. Why is there a PlayStation remote behind you and not charging?
Because it's broken.
Oh. I was curious.
Yeah, it's totally flipped out. I need to take it
Is that the
apart.
one that rattles?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can take it apart and see if you can figure it out?
Yeah.
Cool.
I never get around to it. So just thanks for reminding me.
Oh, I saw it behind your head and I was like, did you get mad and throw it back there? And then I saw the controller next to you and I'm like, wait a second. That's something that's not right with the Force.
Numerology is used to deceive men more than it is to free them.
This card doesn't make me look like an old lady. My aunt used to wear skirts like this. It's why, like, I'm borderline going through like that. I'm old, but not old, and I'm like refusing to admit that I'm getting old.
Good morning, Max.
Hey, Max. I need to find out more about what Robin was talking about the elementary school. It's pretty tough.
like to see if that property or one of those properties on Church Street is still available.
There's lots of properties on Church Street still available.
Like right there.
Oh, that trailer with the warehouse is still available.
Fish Road.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's like a fish store right there next to the fucking property.
I know. I need to do research on that, but fuck, man, I've been meaning to do it at work because I have access to all the information. I can find out the owner's name and everything, and figure out how to contact them so that way I can talk to them about it. But I'm like always so busy by the time I get to work, I forget. Like, I need to be reminded while I'm at work. I know that the railroad track one is gone.
Right.
I can't find it on any listing. The sign's gone. Nobody's done anything with it because I keep passing and looking, but it's not.
So, we have a new guest, Mr. Ted Belcher. Depending on whether or not he's a beer drinker, I might dub him Sir Herps a lot. Because, well, that last name is making me want to have some Bart's root beer because I don't drink.
Says the person who got drunk on a wine cooler last night.
Yes, I got a little tipsy on a wine cooler. I was making the most of it.
And not even a full one because I had like a quarter of it. I love you.
Starting to sound a little bit like a bot. Yeah, I've caught many bots. I've caught bots claiming to be military moms. Linking websites registered in Russia that expired right after the election. They didn't even renew their domains for December. Bring it up.
I have one. Bye, everybody.
I'm trying to think about that.
I love you so much. Alright. Okay, it's a troll. So, no offense to actual combat veterans. And I'm always very, but there's a rule. You don't bring up Harambe at random unless you're a fucking troll. That's a rule that cannot be avoided. So, good night, Eddie. Already completely incoherent, not quite commenting on anything I'm talking about, showing all signs of being a bot. Welcome, Sean! If Sean's a bot, he's still okay, because he's an Irish bot, so he's made of potatoes. Wait a minute. I'm not sure that makes sense. Yes. Anyways. As long as Sean doesn't tell lies, his nose will stop growing, and then he'll turn from potatoes into a real wooden boy. I mean, something like that. Is that how the story goes? I have no fries to eat with my burger. No, that's really not right. There is no ketchup on me. Okay, so what would you do if you were at war with a country and they didn't realize they were at war with you? You know? Kind of like a certain two countries where you don't need to mention. You know? What would you do? And if you were in that country that didn't know it was at war with the country that knew it was at war with them, if you were one of the few people that knew, hey, there's this country over there, and they're kind of at war with us, we might want to do something about it, what would be like the things to point to be like, that's not right? See, if they were like colluding with a particular political party in that area, in that country, you would think that maybe the areas where the other political party was, they would have a really shitty time, right? Because, you know, you're at war with the country, and they don't know it. So all that would show up is just disasters and chemical plant explosions and failures and stuff like that in areas that, oh, they didn't quite support your candidate enough. Yeah, Nevada County right there, that went for Hillary. All those counties on the left over there, that went for Hillary. Isn't that interesting? I find that interesting. Those two other counties, they didn't go for Hillary. But the math is highly skewed, wouldn't you say? Considering, and I'm repeating myself, but I'll say once again, you would expect, statistically speaking, for wildfires to occur more likely in Republican areas. Republicans are landowners, okay? You would see, you'd see conspiracy theory videos right now accusing the Democrats of setting the fires. Okay, even though the statistics were there. The statistics show in most places that the Republicans have the most wildfires, and Democrats usually have the most floods. Republicans, they wanted their nice view and their pretty land, and they got their acreage and stuff like that, and their farms too. Democrats, they live by the airport and wherever else it was cheap to buy. And then, of course, you have the rich liberals. Well, they're all clusterfuck right there in Napa and Sonoma County, aren't there? I was just saying a couple weeks ago how much I love Sonoma, the racetrack. Can't stand it. I know you planned it. I'm gonna set straight this water gate. Can't shut me up with the push of a button. Listen, all of y'all, this is sabotage. Listen, all of y'all, this is sabotage. So anyway, California's getting hammered, man. It's like a fucking war zone. Perhaps it is. So that's probably all gone right now. And what really pisses me off is the deafening silence from the White House. Millions and millions, probably billions of dollars in property damage. Dozen lives lost so far.